What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
You like your very thirsty.
Yeah, I have a thing of lemonade.
Banners.
And then, I feel like I haven't done this in a really long time. I have my lemonade.
People won't know who we
my
are.
Water. I know. God forbid people won't know who we are.
People won't know
Well, true.
who we
If we
are.
have any new people, they want to know who we are, but
That's fair.
everyone else should know who we are.
Everyone else should know
Is
who we
it raining now? I think it is raining now. I think it's like misting.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to episode 58.
Good question.
Let me do what I can tell you.
I feel like we talked. I feel like last week's episode we recorded 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, really.
You're wrong.
This is episode 60. Wow, we've been doing this for 60 episodes. Wow. Okay. All right.
I know, it seems wild. But if you think about it, 50 was just last season, so by the time we get
that's true.
We already know there's a few, like 1 week we won't have an episode when we're away and stuff, but
True. Yeah.
Still think that'd be funny if we did a live episode when we were away.
You'd get a lot of weird takes from us on that one.
Could do it for my birthday.
There you go. Hello, everyone. Like we said, if you don't know us by now, if you're a newcomer joining, we do have new followers on Spotify, so
true.
You may be a new listener. My name is Owen. That is my sister, Casey. We post a weekly show called F1 Underground. Talks about...
Wait, we have 60 followers for 60 episodes. If you think about it with Spotify
there you
followers.
Go. Well, we might be a little ruined on that now. You don't know why? We have 63 followers.
Ugh, screw it.
Yeah.
You followed us and ruined it.
It's a good thing, but yeah. So we talk weekly, everything F1. We talk about weekly news, anything that happens in the F1 world. We preview and recap races. We have a couple fun segments that we'd like to talk about. One of which that I was supposed to do tonight, but I'm not doing anymore because work was hell. But
I mean, I'm kind of doing it today because I have the articles and I read them and stuff, so I can talk about it. But
true. Yes, Casey's stepping up.
It's
So
just
instead of history with Owen,
history's Owen.
It's history with substitute teacher Casey.
I just didn't get the banner ready. It's fine. I'm just putting it in with
and she will write a note to the main teacher if anybody misbehaves. Understand?
I did not know where you're going with that.
Yeah. I used to be, remember when all the substitute teachers would do that? They'd be like, I'll write a note and your teacher will see it tomorrow. It's like, all right, fuck it. We'll deal with that tomorrow. Like, but yeah, please welcome. Hello. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in.
If you tuned in last week, we hope you liked our very long episode this week. It's not going to be that long. Thank you for listening to us ramble and just go off. We were probably overtired, but still so excited. We were wired. It was like we drank 5 cups of coffee and like had no sleep. I feel like that's probably what we felt like.
The absolute collapse that happened after we recorded that episode.
I hit end record and I was like, see ya.
Yeah. I think what time we finished? 5:30?
Like
5-ish. I had maybe 10 minutes to sit on the couch before I left.
Oh yeah.
To go to my in-laws. And then we're there celebrating a birthday and it is maybe like 9 o'clock-ish. And I'm like pretty much asleep on the couch. Like Ange looked at me and she was like, all right, well,
we gotta go.
We'll get out of here. And I'm like, all right, cool. But yeah, thank you for tuning in today. Like he said, thank you for joining us on that very long episode last week. We were so happy to do that. We were still kind of riding that high and that like disbelief that it happened.
The fact that it's been a week, but
please go make sure that you follow us on Instagram at Underground F1 and Threads at same username. I'm all over the place.
Threads is you wait for it to scroll to the bottom so you can read it.
Yes, I am waiting for it to go to the bottom. And then I saw the @underground_F1 for our Twitter account, the X account, and I was like, wait, that's not it. And I got like really twisted. But yeah, please go follow us at Instagram and Threads at @undergroundF1 and on X as well at @underground_F1. And now to kind of segue into this.
Wait, do you want me to go first though, or do you want to go first?
Oh, you go first. You go first, actually. Yes, you go first.
Mine's simple. I have one. So it's simple. It's not even a meme. It's just a picture. And I just have to talk about it because I really hope Vegas continues this bit of whenever they do promo that they continue having him, Charles Leclerc, wear a funny wig. I literally watched the entire promo because they showed him at the end. I watched the entire promo to see if he was in it, first of all, and then I was like, are they making him wear a wig? And I'm so happy I did. So yeah, this is the promo for Vegas for this year. And it's so very clear when you watch a video that they filmed it in Miami because Carlos is wearing his blue Ferrari hat. So they filmed this like last week or 2 weeks ago. But yeah, it's so funny. And we were I was talking to our friends at Paddock Passion because last year, obviously, he wore the Elvis wig. So we're like, what does he look like now? So if you haven't seen it, it's like a black curly wig. Some people think it looks like it's like shaved on the side, but I feel like it's just the quality of the wig. I want to say it's Slash, and so does Paddock Passion.
Yeah, he's 100% Slash from Guns N' Roses. Yeah,
someone was like, what does Slash have to do with Vegas? I'm like, well, he's Slash, like he's an iconic rock and roll legend.
Yeah. Were they going? I don't even know if they're going for the Slash look here. Like, I think it's just he happens to look like that.
I don't know I think that might have been the only wig they were left with, so I can't even say that's what they were going for. Obviously, we have no clue, but I think it's Slash. Like, what other famous celebrity has black curly hair like that?
The only person that I can think of, and
I just thought of someone else.
I'm going to get this wrong. You're going to have to help me here with the name. It was the black curly-haired dude who was on America's Got Talent, I think it was. He always wore the glasses.
Oh! Hold on.
I don't know if it's America's Got Talent.
No, you're right. He also has a podcast.
Oh, does he? Oh, he's a radio show, doesn't he?
It's Howard Stern.
Howard Stern. I knew it was How something because I was like, oh, it's Howie Mandel. And I was like, no, that's the bald dude on America's Got Talent. That's not him. Yeah, Howard Stern. Yes. Also kind of looks like Howard Stern. But yes, I do. I definitely lean more towards the Slash picture of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Just because they went with like a performer Slash last year. So like I continued with the performer look. And then I said next year, and I literally bookmarked the tweet or the post. I said next year it's going to be Pitbull. They'll give him a bald cap.
That would be that would be hilarious.
And I bookmarked the post so I can go back when it comes time.
I really hope that happens. I really hope you're right on that. That would be so good.
It'd be so funny. If they went with Pitbull, I would also just like die to see what he looks like with a bald cap on. It's probably not a good look, but
it's probably a horrible look. Are we serious? It probably looks so bad.
It probably looks so bad. But okay, your meme of the week.
My meme of the week. This has been a long time coming.
But you kept your promise.
So I'll retell a little bit of the story. Months ago, I had jokingly said at the start of the season that when Lando Norris would win his first Grand Prix, that I would join Threads. If you follow us on Threads, if you follow any of the people that follow us on Threads, you are well aware that Casey has been running the account, has done an awesome job with it, and has built up this following that for some reason wanted me on Threads and really wanted me to join it for some reason. Even though I had a personal account, I just literally had 2 posts.
I would say, how many posts did you have on your personal account?
I had 2 posts. Because literally the first idea that I had when we were talking about this was like, okay, maybe I'll just start using my personal account and I'll just like wipe it clear of anything that's like non-Formula One related on there and just like rebrand it to the podcast account. And I looked at it and I had 2 posts and I was like, why am I doing this? So I was like, I literally just wiped that account. I deleted that account completely. I was like, I never use this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm just going to make a new account on a different email, like all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. lo and behold, I'm on Threads now. The account username, and this is my meme of the week just because I think it's comical the way that this is played out. The account username is underground F1 _ Owen. Right. So please go follow, come hang out with us. I post about F1 stuff. There's some tech stuff on there too. If you know who I am, I'm big into technology, stuff like that. I'm over there, underground F1 _ Owen. So the best part was, though, is I made this account probably like 4 p.m. on Sunday, probably like 3:30, 4-ish, somewhere around there. And I can tell you when I made this account because you texted me right after it happened.
Yeah, you followed us.
Yes. You had said 3:05 p.m. You texted me and said, "Do you want me to post about you being on Threads?" And I said, "No, it's okay. We'll talk about it, on this episode." I was also still figuring out details, getting my bio, profile picture, kind of setting it all up. So I was like, we'll talk about it this week on the podcast. We'll make the announcement that I'm on it just because we talked about in the last episode, hey, it's going to happen. I'm going to keep my promise. I don't even think 10 minutes later, you texted me back.
I just said haha or something.
You said, "They found you." And I had turned off notifications because I don't love a lot of notifications popping up my phone.
Yeah, I turned them off too.
I had turned them all off. And I go on Threads, and you know who it fucking was? It was Mark. Mark ruined it for me. Mark ruined the surprise. Mark Schofield posts, "Oh, hello," and says my username. And then it just starts coming in. And people are like, "Oh my God, he's here, blah, blah, blah." Which again, baffles my mind that these people were like, "Owen's on Threads." This is wild.
I know I forget who posted, someone was like, "This is the biggest Threads moment of the year." I was like, what? No, it's not.
Sure. Yeah. I'm sure the moment Ferrari joins Threads, it'll be overshadowed. But
oh yeah, because everyone will be tagging me.
But yeah, so I joined Threads. Everybody found me very quickly and I was like, "Oh, this is launched months more." And then you texted me back and you were like, "Okay, I'm gonna post now." And I was like, "Yeah, go ahead." Yeah. Surprise is ruined. And then I woke up this morning. So that was 3 p.m. on Sunday, like we said, 3 p.m. 2 days ago that I had made this account. I woke up this morning and had passed 100 followers on Threads, which again, I think is just fucking comical because there's this many people that care about what I say and also care about what you say.
What we have to say, yeah.
What we have to say for anything F1 related, and it's it's so weird. And this leads me into the second part of what I wanted to do with this, and that was to say a massive thank you to everybody who listens to this show and who follows us, and like I said, cares about what we have to say about F1 and everything. And it's a very surreal and very weird experience of just that there are almost 6,600 people on Threads who follow our main account. There's almost, I'm already almost at 150 followers on this new account in the matter of 48 hours. It's a very weird experience, but it's so much fun and we're so grateful for it. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. And, we want to keep growing this thing and make it one of the best F1 and motorsport related podcasts out there.
Yep.
So we can bring better content to you guys and get better experiences with something that Casey and I didn't know that we loved 2 years ago.
Literally.
So yeah. So again, I think it's hilarious that 100 people followed me within 48 hours. It's fucking weird.
It's only gonna keep growing too, especially when the new episode comes out. I'll tag this new account and stuff. Yeah, it's only gonna keep going.
It's only gonna keep growing, which is the weirdest part about it too. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm sure I speak for you too, Casey. Just thank you for everybody who follows and pays attention, and also the fact that we hit 63 followers for Spotify is huge too, because I feel like it's so easy to forget about follows on the show itself, because it's you're obviously on social media so much more, and you're not looking at the back end analytics of your show every day like you are on social media. So it's seeing that we hit the 60 followers was so thrilling and so much fun. And seeing that we got 3 more today, when I checked it, I was like, this is awesome. So we're on the road to 100 for that.
Well, the best was Casper when I reposted your post about getting 60 followers on Spotify. He was like, wait, not me only ever watching on YouTube, completely forgetting that Spotify has podcasts. I was like, it's okay.
Well, I will admit, we should call it really like 62 followers, because I am one of those followers on Spotify. So we should call it 62.
You have Spotify still?
I do. I have some of Andy's family members have a podcast that's only on Spotify right now. So I want to follow that.
That's how you listen.
Yeah. So I didn't even think to be like, let me go follow my own show on Spotify. But I thought of it the other day and added to that 63 total. So yeah.
I wish you could see how much we have on Apple. Like I know. I want a profile.
I want to know that too. But yeah, like I said, again, speaking for the both of us, thank you so much for everybody who follows, who listens to the show, and is growing and learning the sport of F1 with us, and also other motorsports, IndyCar, all that stuff. It's so much fun to experience and learn and grow. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
That's my meme of the week.
And with that being said, goodbye. Just kidding.
See ya.
I gotta go to bed. Bye. No, that was kind of a good segue because, like you said, slowly learning about more different motorsports as well. It is officially the month of May. It is officially the best. You can even say from like the next month from today on, probably has some of the most exciting racing that you get to watch on TV. So obviously Indy 500 starts this week. Next week is the race. Next week is also Monaco. And then this time next month in June is Le Mans, 24 hours of Le Mans. So it's just like one after the other. Some very cool racing. So that'll be fun to watch.
Those are some very large races in their respective categories. Huge.
The Triple Crown, like they like to say. And I can totally see Max Verstappen trying to win the Triple Crown altogether. But
why not?
Wait, did you also see that was going to be my meme? I'm changing the subject. So the Team Redline, the streaming the video game team that he has.
Yeah.
So apparently they have a 24-hour race this weekend. And he's like, he realized on the stream that he has a 24-hour race he has to do during Imola. His face, he's like,
good work, Max.
Yeah, good work, Max.
He's just like us.
Yeah, he can probably still, he'll probably win the 24-hour stream and then drop the fastest lap time in Imola. So it's fine. It's fine, because they're also bringing the upgrades. So
what day is that? What day is that 24-hour stream? Do you know or no?
I don't know.
You don't have to look it up. I was just curious if it was if it was race day or if it was qualifying day, where it fell on the weekend schedule.
No, I was looking up. What's it called? Upgrades. Because everyone's bringing upgrades for this week. It was for later on, but that's what I wanted to.
There is a ton of people bringing upgrades.
Our handy dandy friend Mark has an article. I'll skim through it.
Of course he does.
But yes, so like we said, the cool thing about Indy 500 is it starts this week, so it goes this week and next week.
Yeah.
They did race on Saturday this past week at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So they have a normal on the track, it's a different track shape, but what you will learn in 100 Days to Indy, they live at that track for the whole month of May.
Wild.
Yeah. So because there's practice all this week and then leading up to next week. So there was practice today, but everywhere in America it is spring. So it rained the entire day. I think they maybe got 5 laps and then it was they called the session and then they canceled the rest of the day. So there is stuff tomorrow. There is practice Thursday. There is practice Friday. Also the Fast Fridays. And then this Saturday, there's another practice. So in total, there's 7 practices because there's also practice on Sunday. So there's 7 practices in total. And then there's qualifying on Saturday. And then that's qualifying day 1. And then qualifying pole day is on Sunday. And then there's more practices next week. Monday there's a practice, practice 8, and then Friday, May 24th is the final practice day, and then Sunday is the 108th Indianapolis 500. So that will be. I definitely did not watch. I might have watched like the end last year because I remember seeing the craziness because there was like the red flag and they restarted another red. Like it was so much at the very, very end. I'm definitely paying attention more because I also think that's what I wanted to look. I think it conveniently, yeah. So Monaco starts at 9 a.m. Indy 500 starts at 11 a.m. So I think it literally we can just go change channel.
Genius. Yeah. Genius.
But yeah.
Whoever planned that, so to give them a promotion or a raise.
Unless there's like a miracle that happens and, you know, someone from Monaco wins the race, I might need like 5 minutes to compose myself and then I can go to Indy 500.
There you go.
So,
that would be that would be a hell of a weekend.
Yeah.
That would be if we were able to see. I don't want to jinx it.
Don't jinx it. We have next week to talk about it. You're right.
You're right.
But speaking of Charles, moving on.
Get ahead of myself.
Speaking of Charles, so Ferrari on last Thursday just decides to like
randomly.
No, well, I have learned Ferrari likes to drop their news on Thursdays. So yesterday's news was a surprise. Like yesterday, people were like, "Wait, it's not Thursday. Why are you saying this?" Today?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, last Thursday, Ferrari. I'm scrolling back. I should have had it. It was on
non. Had it ready to go.
Oh my goodness! Hold on.
Do you want me to say it?
No, I have it now. Okay, so last Friday they tweet organizational updates. Scuderia Ferrari HP announces that as of Monday, May 13th, Javi Marcos will bring his valuable experience gained as a race engineer with the Formula One team to the development of other important company programs. No explanation other than that. Just posted that. Everyone's like, what the hell's happening? Everyone's like, is Javi fired? Like, does that mean he's no longer Charles' race engineer?
That's also a mouthful of a statement.
It's literally one sentence with a comma. But it's literally, you can't say it, but it's literally one sentence. Like, that was their press release. So that's all we got. That was at 12:48 p.m. And then a little bit later, literally at 1:02. So there was a good 20 minutes. People were like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah. What's going on?
Like, what's happening? They post again. Organizational update. Scuderia Ferrari HP announces that Brian Bozzi, if that's how you say his last name, who has worked in the team for 10 years, currently as performance engineer to Charles Leclerc, will now take on the role of his race engineer as from next weekend's Imola, Grand Prix in Imola. So yeah. But then everyone knows that he has a new race engineer, which is like wild because, I mean, Javi's been his race engineer since day one. But then you go and you do your, like, you can look on the internet, you realize that Brian's been there since Charles Leclerc walked in the door of Ferrari day one.
Yeah.
With
been there for a very long time.
Yeah. Like when they did the funny challenges, like old challenges with Seb and they like brought other people in for the team, he's in it and he has the same exact personality, I feel like, as Charles Leclerc. So I have no worry. He took leapfrog very intent, he was very committed to winning. So like I am not worried. And that was Charles Leclerc also. So, but yes. So along with all the other upgrades that they're bringing, Charles Leclerc is also bringing a new race engineer. But yeah.
I'm a little. You would show me the leapfrog video, and I do agree with you. I think their personalities will blend a lot, and it'll be good for them. I am worried, and this is just strictly with Imola, is like too soon. Like throwing him into the race engineer role. So it's like, how much can we expect out of him? This weekend. But
Charles was seen at the restaurant connected to the Ferrari factory that I would love to go to. Side note, but he was like seen going in there with Brian eating lunch. Like They were sitting there going through things. That's the only reason why I don't think it's going to be a weird transition is because Brian's literally been the person sitting next to Javi for years.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. It's not like he's.
It's just the timing.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the weird timing of it. Like, to me, it just says, like, something happened with Xavi.
Yes.
But also at the same point, like, I feel like Xavi's kind of been on the downturn for a while now, and like maybe has like kind of been slowly on his way out, and we just haven't seen it. But
I mean, I just think also the timing, because like there was no special like thank you message from Charles at the end of Miami. There was no.
Oh, yeah.
So like it literally happened a few days after Miami. I think that's why people were a little like, wait, what? Because anyone else, if they knew it was coming, they would be like, thank you so much, like at the end of the race, like over the radio. Nothing of that. I also, it's also shocking because Charles Leclerc was stated back in like 2022 when everything started to go to shit for him. He said Xavi was like one of the only people on his side of the garage he could trust, or he's in the team that he could trust.
Right.
But, like, that's why I'm also, like, is he, like, the last changing of the guard for Fred on Charles' side of the garage with, like, strategist-wise?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so...
It just took so long to, like...
Yeah.
Get in a position where you could make that change, you know?
Yeah,
like, I'm sure Fred didn't want to, like, come in and immediately be like... Especially if Charles was feeling that way, you know, that Xavi was, like, one of the only guys he could trust. It would not have been a smart move for Fred to come in and been like...
Well, he's gone.
Like, see ya. You know, Charles would have immediately been like, all right, well, screw this guy. Like,
yeah. Well, that's what people were, like, automatically thinking, like, the worst. And people were like, the dude is also, like, obviously he's not, like, as young as Charles, but, like, he's probably has a family. Think about how much time he's away from his family. Like, okay, it makes sense. If he's still within Ferrari, he can easily work at the, like, factory. His family's probably close. So that's what people were freaking out. Obviously, it's okay, but... Yeah, we'll see how this weekend goes. It should definitely be interesting. But yeah, the timing was definitely the biggest, like, what?
Yeah, that is weird. Especially if you're right, like Ferrari's always pumping out news on Thursday, and then it's like randomly on a Monday. It's like, what the hell?
No.
Like,
that was on Thursday. That was last Thursday.
Oh, yes.
The next piece of changing news they posted yesterday.
That's right. Yes. Now I'm remembering.
Moving on. Yeah, we can go right into it. So, I mean, this one's pretty big, I have to say.
This is big. This is like, when we were talking about it yesterday, I said, like, I saw that the move happened, and I was like, I'm like, all right, yeah, sure. And then I, like, started reading into, like, who the guys were, and I was like, this is a big move. Like,
yeah, so... Ferrari again announces yesterday that literally it says like they're to further strengthen the team. The arrival of, I guess it's Locke Serra and Jerome D'Ambrosio are coming from Mercedes over to Ferrari, which is huge. I mean, it's pretty big. I think I saw someone saying that the Locke Serra guy was like Toto's right-hand man. He was like kind of grooming him to be like, or helping him to become a team principal at one time. So yeah, I'll just read. This is from the Ferrari, press release on their website that they posted. So it says Locke Serra takes on the role of head of chassis performance engineering, reporting to one of the Enricos over on Ferrari's team because there's like 25.
To one of the Enricos.
No, if you ever look, there's a ton. But yeah, he was, after he went to school, it says he worked for Michelin and then to BMW's Sauber and then Mercedes AMG Formula One team. So he's been pretty much within Mercedes, Toto Wolff for a really long time. And then the other guy, Jerome D'Ambrosio, is joining in the roles of deputy team principal and reporting directly to Fred Vasseur. So that one's pretty... like high up, and he's also been appointed the head of Ferrari's driver academy, which is huge.
That's exactly what I was just reading. Yeah, having a role that reports directly to Fred. I mean, that feels like what his role is going to be like as like deputy team principal is like he's going to be like Fred's like eyes and ears. Like
it's like if Fred's not there, well, maybe he's the one. Maybe he was the one that was going to be that Toto was helping because it says he worked alongside team principal Toto Wolff and Ren. That's their young driver program as well.
Right.
He also was a Formula One driver. And then I believe I could go back and find it. Our friend Formula One let me know that Jerome D'Ambrosio was also a team principal or deputy team principal in the Formula E team that Susie Wolff was formerly in charge of.
Yep.
And then also worked with Toto Wolff. So yeah, I feel like Fred just walked in the door and was like, hello, who wants to come with me? And they were like, me.
Literally, just like pokes his head in. He's like, you, and you. Come on. And they just like ditched. They're like, oh, cool. Like ran out the door real fast. Yeah, that's I mean, it's just again, like it's just huge moves for Fred and Ferrari. It's just cooking. Like that, yeah, he's doing something over there.
Yeah, well, and then also they both can start working at Ferrari on October 1st. So obviously they have a gardening leave, but October 1st, they have a decent amount of time to work on the car for next year or whatever they'll help do for next year. I also feel like if those two were people that like obviously have been in Mercedes for forever, they know Lewis Hamilton. So I feel that's going to also translate probably very, very well.
This 100% feels like Fred or like Ferrari made this move because they were like, we have a star Mercedes driver. Let's get some high up Mercedes workers, or team members. So that way Lewis feels a little bit more comfortable, makes the transition a little bit easier, and probably lends a bit of a hand to also maybe Ferrari making a fight for drivers' championships and World Constructors Championships, next year. Because it's like, okay, now you're getting Lewis in to this team with a car that's already performing this year, hopefully going to perform next year. Let's make the transition even smoother and just bring in people he knows, and it's.
There was also my confidence for next year is so high as a Ferrari fan because there's also even like with what Fred's doing. And then there was a interview, I think it was in a French magazine with Fred.
Yeah.
And basically, like rough translation was saying that Lewis and Charles are already getting along. Like he literally said they're in like the honeymoon phase. So like, and it's only going to get stronger from there. And he thinks it would only ever be drama like on track. And nothing's ever going to come off track because they respect each other. They know they're both like, it's going to be hard racing if they have to go up against each other, which is refreshing to hear. Yeah,
it's definitely. If I'm a Ferrari fan like you are, and I'm a diehard Tifosi member, like I'm already kind of not scrapping this year because Ferrari's performing this year, but like I'm keeping one eye on this year. I'm keeping one eye on this year and one eye on next year already, just with all the moves that have happened. And I mean, like you said, it started with Lewis and whatnot, but you've gotten Lewis, you've gotten a car that's performing this year, you've gotten Fred who will have such an influence next year, and these key signings. It's just the things keep stacking and everything.
And if they could pull off the miracle and get the big wig, that's still in question in Adrian Newey.
If they could get Adrian Newey, if that does happen, I'm telling you, I would not be. I'm calling it now. Lewis's 8th championship is happening next year. If Adrian Newey gets in there, and if everything we've heard so far is true about the non-gardening leave and being able to start and being able to have at least a heavy influence on next year's car for Ferrari, it's going to be a world of a difference. Mm-hmm. It's just wild to see, but it feels very reminiscent, and I know there's going to be a small subset of people who understand this reference, but it feels very different to similar to the year of when Bryce Harper signed with the Phillies, because it was like Bryce Harper signed with the Phillies, and then we got JT Realmuto, and then we had a couple other key signings.
Changing of the guard.
Everybody was like, "Oh my God, this is the year." Like this is the year. It's just like wild to think about. But yeah, I'm definitely, as a Ferrari fan, definitely already kind of looking forward to next year, because it's like that's it. Like that's the one where we have these high expectations. So
I'm interested because this weekend is a Ferrari home race.
Yeah.
I am very interested. Lewis already gets I feel like a good reception in Monza and stuff, so I'm very interested to see how he gets the reaction the crowd has for him this upcoming weekend, knowing that he's going to be a Ferrari driver.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I have a feeling it's going to be huge.
Yeah, it's probably going to be massive because it's the fact that it's confirmed, and it's been confirmed for so long now that it's like the shock value of it has gotten to subside and whatnot, and it's the realization of like, people are going to watch Lewis, Tifosi members are going to watch Lewis this weekend with the idea of like he's in that car, he's in red next year. Yeah, he's ours next year.
Still feels unreal to think about, but
that's the thing. Like even if Lewis wins, even if Lewis wins this upcoming weekend, like Ferrari fans probably are going to be, at least me, I would be happy with that, because I'd be like, oh my god, he's ours. Like that's just the mindset.
That car sucks, but I was going to say something else, but I can't remember. I literally lost my train of thought. Come back to me. But yeah, so that was the Ferrari changes. It's literally, I feel like they've been the only kind of news this past week, unless I missed something, but there really hasn't been.
There's a couple other teams bringing upgrades. Red Bull's bringing upgrades, but it's
Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari. Which I think McLaren, I would think it's Ollie getting the rest of the upgrades.
It is, so Oscar is getting, you said Ollie.
Oscar. I have the article up next about Ollie.
I can see it. Oscar. So Oscar was running 50% of the upgrades in Miami. So he's getting the rest of the rest of the package. Which I watched a very detailed breakdown of their upgrades, and it's crazy how much they changed. Like
Ferrari's literally changing so much too. They had the shakedown last week. They did filming days, and I think the side pods look more like Red Bull, almost. And I forget what else they're bringing, but I just hope. I'm scared. We're kind of getting into Imola up preview, but I am hoping there's a chance it could rain, and
I did see that.
If it rains, I'm going to be scared, because then you're not going to see the upgrades for any team in full effect.
Yeah.
And you're not going to see them next week in Monaco in full effect.
No.
So we don't see them in full effect until Canada. So I hope, as much as I love rain, I hope it's a dry weekend for them.
Yeah, it definitely, if it is enough of a rainy weekend to kind of nullify that, I will be disappointed and nullify all the upgrades and everything. I will be upset with that, because as much as I don't want to see the RB20 turn into a fucking rocket ship again,
like that video,
it would be nice to see a lot of the other cars bring, upgrades. I am also curious, just as, McLaren fan, seeing Oscar perform with 100% of the upgrades and whatnot, and see how he likes the car,
because he was performing. I mean, before he had contact, he was doing pretty well with 50% of those upgrades. They could have it could have been Oscar's race to win.
It could have been Oscar's race to win. So much potential for McLaren right now.
So much potential. Nice. It could have been could have been a McLaren double podium. Also, did you see Zach Brown said, so you know how he has a tattoo of Monza?
Yes.
I think someone asked him if he was going to get the tattoo of Miami.
He has to. Come on.
He has to.
He is so happy to be Lando Norris's boss. And I'm sure interpersonally tries to play a little bit of a father figure to Lando.
Yeah.
To see his first win and to be his team principal and everything, absolutely you got to get a tattoo for it, especially since you did get a tattoo for Daniel.
Daniel, right?
With Ricciardo's win, it was awesome. It was so funny to see that, and him and Zach Brown too get a tattoo. But if you're gonna get a win for Daniel for that Monza win, you have to get a win. you have to get a tattoo for Lando Norris's, who you are very much branding as like, this is the face of McLaren, and this will be McLaren's for like constructor winning driver and like driver championship winning driver. Like you have to get a tattoo. Yeah.
Wait, speaking of Lando, before we move on to Ollie, did you see how he was like he was in Monaco this past weekend because it was a historic GP of Monaco and all that, but he was in his vintage Lamborghini and it came to a halt. Did you see the fans help him turn around?
I did not see it come to a halt. I knew he was in it, but I didn't see it come to a halt.
So it said I don't know where he came out of, but it like came to a halt. So the fans had there was fans there that had to help him push his 1.5. I just looked it up. $1.5 million Lamborghini to keep it going, and then it continued on. But yeah,
what's the model name of the Lamborghini?
Says he was stopped for about 5 minutes and took the whole thing in his stride. It doesn't say.
Let me see. I can look it up. Lando Norris.
Just look up Lando Norris vintage Lamborghini.
It is nice. It's a Miura. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's a classic. But yeah, that's funny though. I did not see that.
I just remembered as you were saying Lando. I saw it earlier today.
I did see too. Did you see that video of him doing the BBC One radio?
I listened to it. I didn't. I listened to clips and stuff.
This man.
I saw you post this.
This man wins Miami and then goes and plays Augusta National on Monday and Tuesday. Like, not even like Wednesday and Thursday or anything. Like, no, like literally wins Miami on Sunday, travels to Georgia and plays Augusta National on Monday and Tuesday.
After sleeping on the plane.
Oh my God, he had to be exhausted.
I think last year, I'm pretty sure because I remember telling you, I think it was obviously after Miami, but I think it was Lando Carlos and Zach Brown went and played at Augusta. So he's played twice.
Son of a bitch, man. I just so jealous.
Yes. Moving on. Speaking of Ollie, since I called Oscar Ollie a little bit ago.
Yes.
This is quick. He will be driving in FP1 this weekend in the Haas.
Yeah.
Which will be cool to see because after which Jeddah feels like forever ago.
That does feel like such a
yeah. When he drove for Carlos, obviously Carlos lost his appendix, and had an insane performance. So yes, he will be driving in the place of Kevin Magnussen in FP1. So yes, we will. It'll cool to see him during FP1. That'll be nice. I think that's
it was good to see him back.
Yeah. I think we get F2 this weekend, so that's why it's easy for. We get a lot of F2 now back since they're going to be in Europe. They don't come over here, but when they're in Europe, we get a lot of F2 coming up, which will be cool because I want to see Kimi and Ollie and stuff. So, FP1 7:30 to 8:30 on Friday.
Putting that on at work.
Yeah, same. Okay, pints and pit stops.
Pints and pit stops. You said this is for me.
Yes, it's for you because I cheated and looked up the answers. But this is coming from.
You cheater.
I'm shocked you didn't see this because Linus gave it to me on threads earlier today. But it was buried within a thread. No, you're not allowed to look. Yeah.
I'm not looking. I'm pulling up the note. I'm pulling up the notes so I can write down my time.
Oh, okay.
Because I keep track of the pints and pit stops time. So
if you're new here, pints and pit stops is a segment we like to have. Normally, Owen will try a beer. I don't know what Lek was teasing today, but it's probably the launch of Lek in France, which make it worldwide. So then we can have a pint of Lek before the questions. Yes, like I said, Owen would normally try a pint of beer, and then we ask 5 questions, or you have to give 5 things. Fast. So it's to get the fastest time, hence the pit stop. So
our current leader. Oh, this just feels like a shameless plug now because I didn't know.
Who's it?
Our current leader is me with 18 seconds and 18.4 seconds.
I have a feeling you're not going to. Maybe you'll be okay with this one. But wait, where did the. Hold on.
You want me to hold up the timer or you? All right, well, I guess you have to because.
Oh, yeah, I will. No, I will. Okay. So, like I said, this came from our lovely, amazing follower, Linus, on Threads. gives us a lot of our.
Thank you, Linus.
Linus gives me a lot of the Pints and Pit Stops. Whenever I need a topic, my go-to.
No, I should just message him on Threads now. Now that I can.
Okay. Are you ready?
Do I get to know the topic?
You have to give me. Yeah, I'm gonna give you the topic. I'm not asking you questions. You have to give me 5 or something. So you have to give me the top. You have to give me the top 5 from Imola 2022.
What the fuck?
You ready?
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. I have to. Let me airdrop this to my computer real fast. Like, I have a screenshot of the top 5, but I don't want to show the top 5 on the.
I know. I'm picturing the podium right now. I think
Okay, ready? Ready? Top 5 from Imola. Go.
Okay. Max, Lando, Charles, Lewis, Carlos.
Okay, that's a 9.05. So my adding time?
Do add. We never really discussed this.
No, but I gave you another one where you had to get, like, for Australia, you had to guess the people at DNF.
Yeah, that's right. Do a second per wrong answer.
Okay.
Oh, dear fucking God. Oh, no.
So you got Max, right? He was P1. Yeah. P2 was Perez.
What did I say?
What did you say at second?
I said Max, Lando, Lewis, Charles, and Carlos?
Yeah. Okay. But you said add a second for everyone you got wrong, right?
Yes, add a second for every person I got wrong.
Okay. So you're at 10.05. So Max, Perez,
okay.
Lando is P3.
That's right. I knew Lando was on the podium because I just saw that photo the other day.
George Russell was P4.
Oh, I was going to say George. God damn it.
You're never going to guess 5th. You're never going to guess 5th.
It's a fucking no. It's
You're never going to guess.
It's K-Mag. Isn't it K-Mag?
No, it's Valtteri Bottas.
Oh.
So you got to add 4 seconds. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.05. I mean, you still
13.05.
Technically got the fastest.
I'm writing that down as my second fastest time because right now I just have our best times written down.
Yeah.
I have you, me, Mark, and then Patrick and Dan from midfield.
Yes.
And
also Imola 2022, I think it was maybe the first time Max lapped Lewis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a pretty big. Yeah. But yeah, that's Pints and Pit Stops. Moving on now to Imola. Instead of me diss the Pints and Pit Stops, I'm gonna try and say the full name for Imola.
Oh, I told people I would try it too. So you say it and then I'll say it.
Okay. This is gonna be so bad. The pronouncing saying the words are gonna be so bad. So it's Formula 1, MSC Cruises, Gran Premio del Made in Italy, del Emilia Romagna 2024.
That was good. That yeah.
Why is it so long?
You sounded exactly like what you are, and you sounded like an American trying to say the name. There was no effort to make an Italian form of saying that. So, all right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Formula 1, MSC Cruises, Gran Premio del Made in Italy, del Emilia Romagna 2024.
I like your pretend accent.
You got to throw the pretend accent in there a little bit.
I liked it.
Okay. We should clip that too and post that as well.
I'm going to clip that, yeah.
Yeah,
that's a mental note of the time. Okay, but yes. Imola. It is an emotional, historic weekend for Imola.
Yes.
Which technically it was last week. This was when these anniversaries first came up. But it is the 30th anniversary of the passing of both Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger. So it's when you like go back and read everything that happened, it is literally insane that what happened. And it's also this, they haven't been into Imola in 2 years because last year had the devastating floods that canceled the race. I think there was pictures of Yuki helping clean up the area because there was so much flooding. So yeah, this is the first time they're back. Flooding, I know for me, this is why Linus asked the question for Pints and Pit Stops. I've never seen an Imola race. I didn't watch in 2022. I started watching Monaco, I think 2022 last year. That year.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen it. I may have watched it a little bit. When I did the track facts video filming today, the track felt like a little familiar to me, especially the one chicane. Like I was like, oh, I recognize this. But yeah, I can't say in confident memory that I've watched one either. So yeah, excited.
Yeah, it'd be exciting. So there's a lot that's going to be taking place this weekend to honor the 30th anniversary. Pierre Gasly might have my favorite helmet of all time.
It looks very good.
And it's easily my favorite for this year if we do the ranking at the end of the year. So he has almost the identical copy of Ayrton Senna's iconic yellow helmet. He even took pictures in an old car of Ayrton Senna. So it's very, very cool. I said Pierre Gasly does tribute helmets well. He knows how to do it well and honor the person that he's honoring. The design, it's almost perfect, to a T, without being obviously the design of the helmet, the literal shape of the helmet's different. But top of Pierre Gasly, Sebastian Vettel will be in Imola, and he will be getting behind the wheel of Senna's McLaren MP48. It's the car that he last won a race in at the end of 1993. And it's also going to be on display for fans across the 3 days. So that'll be really cool to see. I wish they would televise it. So I'm sure it'll be on pre-race things, pre and post-race stuff. But
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I'll look for a video. But yeah, that'll be cool to see. Seb back in general, but then seeing him drive that car will be cool. You know who I'm waiting to announce a tribute helmet? Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis, I could definitely see doing one as well. Yeah.
I mean, I automatically think of that clip when he's given one of Senna's real helmets and he drops the mic and looks like he's gonna cry that's what I picture all the time. Yeah, he's speechless. So I'm waiting. I have a feeling he's gonna have one, but
yeah,
hopefully
he'll at least do something. If he doesn't have a helmet, he'll at least do something. Yeah.
Because he does normally save it for when they're in Brazil. But I feel with it being 30th anniversary and stuff, in Imola, just days after the literal anniversary, I definitely see it. But before we give our preview, this is where history with Owen, but with the substitute Casey comes in.
Thank you, substitute Casey.
I'm not going into too much detail. These articles are both from racefans.net. They had great articles, stories about the entire 2 maybe saddest days in Formula One history back in 1994, which doesn't seem like it should be 30 years ago, but I am turning 29 this year, so it is 30 years ago.
It is 30 years ago.
It is. So yeah, it's wild. Also, Mark has a really cool article on Ayrton Senna he posted today. It's really good.
Yeah, I need to read that still.
Yeah, you should really read it. The way he described how he got qualifying that in Monaco that year, it's Max Verstappen levels with the gap that he gets qualifying.
Yeah,
and Mark even points out that he had pole and decided to go around again to go faster and went faster. It's wild. So moving on. I want to go over first because if you go in the succession of days, unfortunately, Roland Ratzenberger passed away during qualifying of Imola in 1994. But when you read the Race Fans article that I have there, you should read it because it goes through his history.
Yeah.
It's so sad. So he it goes through his whole entire history, how he got to Formula One. So he finished, what is this for? Sorry, hold on. Japanese Formula 3000 series. Yeah. So he finished 7th overall. And then like his teammate at the time finished 11th. Or he dropped to 11th in 1993. And his teammate went to Formula 1, made his debut in 1993. Ratzenberger joined F1 the following year. So says the Monaco-based sports manager, Barba Balayu, if I'm saying that, helped him gain a seat in the all-new Simtech team for 1994 early in March, just days before the start of the season. At the time, he only was expected to be in the car for 5 Grand Prix unless he could find further funding. So this Ratzenberger, he had like a bad start to the season. Ratzenberger failed to qualify first. Bless you. First, did you sneeze silence or did you mute yourself?
I muted myself.
Okay. I thought you sneezed at like such a high intensity that the mic didn't catch
just
it.
gave the mic out.
Yeah.
Sorry, did not mean to interrupt.
It's okay. I'm writing you up to the teacher. So it said Ratzenberger failed to qualify for his first race in Brazil after being delayed by mechanical problems in practice. And then it was ultimately rained. There was a rainstorm during the final qualifying, prevented him from setting competitive drive time. And then the field went to Japan. Ratzenberger, Japanese touring car experience meant he was the only driver in the field with prior experience of the circuit. He qualified last, finished 11th, 5 laps down. That's the only race he started. Right? It's when you think of it like that, it's makes you like sick to your stomach. So it says during qualifying for the next race at Imola on Saturday, April 30th, Ratzenberger ran wide off the road at the one chicane. The Acqui Minerale chicane and damaged the front of his car. On the following lap, he approached the flat-out Vignette kink where his front wing failed, and then it pinched the Simtech into an unyielding barrier at around 200 miles per hour, and he was unfortunately killed instantly. Yeah, that was qualifying. Literally, what did I say? I thought I heard somewhere else, like 20 minutes into qualifying. And you can, I clipped the link because that was the link I saw on Twitter and stuff on April 30th, the day of his death. I think it might be from race coverage, but you kind of see the crash from like a fan, like the crowd's perspective. And then the crowd just knows because the crowd is like kind of like like an eerily, but like you can also hear people being like, oh. And then they cut to Ayrton Senna in his garage, like watching. And he also knows, like, he immediately takes his baklava off, helmet off. They show other drivers. So it said, continuing on, it said, in his memory, Simtech rang the rest of the season saying for Roland, patent on the car's airbox. I also think I saw no one really wanted to continue, but some places did continue.
Right.
Where's the... Hold on. There was a quote. Let me look for it.
This is the whole story of...
Mm-hmm. And there was a really big crash the day before during practice, but luckily they, like, no one... But yeah, if you... The video, it also shows, like, when the car stops, like, spinning. And you can just see his, like, there's...
Just
he's gone. You can see it, I don't know where. I'll have to look for it. It was like when I was searching for it earlier, it basically was a quote saying that like someone in his team, like his race engineer or mechanic, was like, "No, don't do it," and he was like, "No, I have to continue." And like literally 24 hours later, he crashed. That's wild. Yeah. So that was April 30th. Literally 24 hours later on... Does April have 31 days? Now I'm drawing a blank.
No, it's May 1st.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you.
It's May
1st.
Yeah.
Oh! Just scratched my microphone. Sorry for that ASMR there for a second. But yes, 24 hours later, same race. During the race, Senna crashed and died at the one curve on the 6th lap of the Grand Prix. And ever since, both corners were pretty much altered to not have this again. But yeah, it's... I mean, Senna is Senna. Everyone. That's what I knew about Senna's, like, death and stuff. I had no clue about Roland Ratzenberger. And maybe that's my fault, but, like, just looking into what, like, the series of events that happened that weekend, it's just, like, how?
It's such
how?
Yeah. It's just a wild weekend. It's so upsetting just seeing happen. I mean, obviously there's nothing we can like do about it now, but it's so sad to see. And it's like, I was telling you, like, I started the Schumacher documentary on Netflix, and it's like an hour and a half long, or like an hour and 45 minutes long. I'm maybe a half hour into it, and I'm not even realizing that I'm watching the 94 Imola Grand Prix. Like,
because you don't think, I feel like you don't think they raced against each other, but they did.
Right.
Like,
and then they're talking about like his rivalry with like, you know, Michael Schumacher's rivalry with Senna and everything. And they show the crash where Senna goes into the wall. And it's like, I was aware that, like, you know, he died in the crash and everything. I didn't know fully the specifics, but he went into that wall and I was like, oh, that's not good. Like, and it's like, then it clicked in my head where I was like, oh my God, this is the crash. Like, this is how he died. And it's like, same thing. Like, you see the car comes to a stop, and even in the documentary, the car comes to a stop and you see his head just kind of like drop, and you're just like, oh, like that. Like, no. Hey, it's just the fact that the two of them died in one weekend is just, it's so sad. But I mean, it is like, it's nice to see all the you know, the memorials for them, and
there's
people
a really
remembering
like nice
them and whatnot,
statue of Senna at Imola. This is what I wanted to bring up. So this is about the crash that was during practice. So it was Barrichello. He crashed. I don't even know, just like the coincidence. Senna got out of his car when he saw him crash.
Yeah.
And went to the scene of the accident to stop anyone else. And then the FIA doctor came over, performed like CPR emergency and stuff. And he did regain consciousness. He survived. It says he had suffered a broken nose, sprained wrist, but he didn't race the rest of the weekend. But yeah, then you have literally 24 hours later, Ratzenberger's crashed, passes away. 24 hours later. Like that poor, like the FIA doctor, that poor doctor.
Yeah. It's just like wild. Like that turn of it, like all 3 days are just like stained now by these events that happened. And it's nuts. It's just
it says, this article goes into more. So it says after Saturday and stuff, it says Senna met with fellow drivers in an attempt to reestablish the Grand Prix Driver Association, the GPDA, which Vettel was president of, George Russell's now in charge of, in order to improve safety in F1. He offered to take the role of leader starting at the following race in Monaco. And I forgot, he was in he joined Williams that year and was racing with Damon Hill. So I also like wondered, there's that concept livery for McLaren.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see them doing something, and then I also can see Williams doing something as well, along with everyone else. But like, I can see those two teams the most. But right now all we know of is Gasly's special helmet, Vettel running. Vettel also has special merch out that you can buy. It's like the yellow shirt with the green and black stripes, and it says,
"Oh yeah."
It has Vettel's quote on it, like his saying, but it also works for Senna, I feel like. So, but yeah, very emotional weekend. But wanted to touch on that because I wish we could see that mural in Miami that they had up for him. Yeah,
that really would have been an awesome experience to see and to take in person. Because like you said, it's this weekend coming up is such an emotionally charged weekend that it's like you can't not talk about it when you come to Imola and everything, just because it's like I said, it's such a stained weekend in Formula One's history. So it's like, it's just, yeah, I mean, very upsetting weekend, but obviously, you honor the life of Ratzenberger and Senna and everything too. Yeah. So yeah, just nuts that it even happened in the first place.
And I think that's like their crashes, I think, spun a lot of changes within the F1 car. So if you look at those videos, there's no halo there and stuff.
Nope.
And then you don't have the next death, I think, from what I saw, is Jules Bianchi after Art and Senna. Yeah. It's like there's that chunk of time without anything. But yeah, so just wanted to talk about that before we gave our predictions for Imola. But yes, Imola, lots of updates. Normal race weekend procedure. Normally there is a sprint at Imola, but they obviously aren't doing 3 sprints in a row. So yeah. But
predictions. My predictions, I'm going to go, I know, 1 through 4. Although we really could kind of be anybody's game.
We could go back to 1 through 3.
Yeah. This is hard because I was like trying to figure it out. I don't want to go full crazy and say that Lando's going to win every Grand Prix from now on.
I'm saving my Delulu for next weekend too.
I will. I'm going to take the safe bet. I'm going to be realistic. I think Max, as he always has done whenever he loses a race, he comes back to the next one with a vengeance. So, especially with RB20 upgrades coming.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Max first place. I am going to go Lando in second place, though. I said it as we were walking out of Miami, I'm pretty sure. I was like, I really hope that I think it will, and I really hope that it opens the floodgates for Lando.
Yeah.
Of just like, get the weight off your back now that you have your first win out of the way. You've done it, you have it. You've done it before. You can do it again. And you can also just perform now. You can do this now. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go Lando P2. I will go Checo P3. Just because, like I said, the fact that our Red Bull's bringing upgrades, I feel like we're just going to have like a glimpse again of like regularly scheduled programming for the season of just like Red Bull dominance. But fourth I will go because there's so many teams bringing upgrades that it's so hard to pick. I will go. I'm going to throw a wild card in there. I'm going to go Lewis.
Whoa.
I'm going to go Lewis P4 because Mercedes bringing upgrades. I'm really hoping it works out for them. Do I want them to catch up to McLaren in the standings? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I would say yeah, you do, but you don't.
Yeah, well, I don't, but I also wouldn't mind it because then it's like, all right, make it interesting, Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would love to see McLaren run away from Mercedes in the constructor standings. But sure, make it interesting. But yeah, so I'm gonna go Max, Lando, Checo, Lewis.
Okay, I'm gonna go Max. I'm gonna go Charles, Carlos. I think we have double Ferrari in an Italian Ferrari home race.
That would be huge.
Yeah, and I also want Charles to catch Checo more because they're so close. It's 103 to 98.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, honestly, Max is not that far ahead either. He's 136.
No, wow. Yeah, that's not that far ahead. Well, he he's 2 races now that he hasn't
won.
That he didn't win, and also one of those he didn't finish, so he didn't get any points from it. So
yeah, I have Max, Charles, Carlos, and I'm going to put Oscar 4th. So he gets the full upgrades. I think he drove so good last weekend, he might be a man on the mission. So yeah.
Yeah.
Max, Charles, Carlos, Oscar. They're my predictions.
That's good. I like that. Yeah, I think I'm excited for this weekend, like we said, because we haven't seen. Like I said, I don't confidently remember ever watching an Imola race. You said you've never seen one,
never have.
It's going to kind of be brand new for both of us. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's definitely going to be weird watching a race now following Miami and being there in person. I think I'm going to have not a deeper appreciation for it, maybe a deeper appreciation. That might be a good word for it too, but like also a deeper understanding of it, like seeing it now in person. So I'm definitely I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens.
Same. Anything else? I can close this out since you opened it.
I got nothing. Yeah, just thanks again to everybody who tuned in and started following me on Threads. Thanks.
Yeah, so like you said, thank you guys for joining us for another episode of F1 Underground. Next week we will be back. It's our first back doubleheader of the whole season, so we have a recap and a preview. That's probably all we'll do, but
probably.
And it's Monaco time. My full Delulu will be happening next week. You can already guess who I'm going to put P1, so it's fine. Yeah. But yes, as always, our socials have been scrolling at the bottom. And thank you again for joining us, and we will see you next week.